Uh, can anyone share your screen? So whether you have installed Anaconda in your system. If you did not get installed or anything, just to share your screen. So I will instruct you how to do installation and we'll see. Just today the main agenda is only installation. Please response.
Sir, actually, my personal app is not like opening. It is getting updated. So I just joined through other one. Uh,
Okay.
like you can you'll be providing this recording, right? You can show like in your laptop or like that.
That is my already installation has done in
Oh,
my system. So who did not have installation, if it is if I can show in that way, so it will be easier for you. If I already installed in my system, so you might get confused. That's why I'm asking who did not get installed. I will instruct you to install here itself.
okay. But yeah, sir, my lap is not opening.
Yeah, no
It is.
issue. What about Salman?
I'm not sure, sir.
Solomon, uh, is it first class for you, both of you, or yesterday you joined?
Oh, yesterday I joined, sir.
Okay, fine. What about Solomon?
Yeah, this is my first class, but already I have installed the app.
Yeah, so you already installed. So anyway, so I will share the screen once I will show. So later, if you did not install, you can do later. So just to simply type as Anaconda download. So in the Anaconda download, if you click on this, where you can able to see here Windows, Apple, Linux, everything. So whatever the thing OS in your system, based on the OS, you have to select it and you have to download it. So if it is Windows, go to the 64-bit graphic installer, go here and you try to double click on this exe file, you will be able to download. So which is very simpler. It won't take the more time. Just download and you double click on that and it will be asking some of the thing while you are installing. Just to simply go for next options. So automatic, I will show anyway. So after I won't install, up to download I will show. So it is going to get downloading. After downloading, I will click on once, double click on that. I will show the steps what you have to do. After at the last step, I won't install, but you have to install in your system. And if people have GitHub account also have to create. If you don't know the what is GitHub, everything I will tell later. Meanwhile, you search in the Google GitHub, GITHUB. You have to create that account also. It is similar like how you will create Gmail account or Facebook account. The similar process only you have to create the GitHub. It is two-step process. You have to create the GitHub account where you are going to keep your code, your assignments, whatever you are trying to do in this class. as well as in the future, the projects, everything you have to keep into the GitHub. So if anyone is asked, like what you done these many months, what you have done the projects, assignments, everything. So you can keep in that GitHub and you can share that link. So in entire world, anyone can visible your account and they can see your work. So that exactly what is GitHub, everything I will tell later. Meanwhile, you try to create the GitHub account also. So if I am double click on this, so whenever you try to double click on this, just to click on next. So later, try to click on the I agree. So later you click on the next, just me recommended. Click on where it has to get stored. So keep remains the same. Where it is default, it is coming. Click on the next. So, so it is asking some other different location. So meanwhile, I'll choose another location because it is already available. Something I'm showing this one and I'm clicking on the next. Okay. Or I'll choose this one. Or something, I'll create some new folder. Like, so it is showing that, okay, it's fine. So here the space required, it is showing that space available. Because of space issues, it is not getting, because I have so many softwares get installed in my system. So because of that, some space issue which is there. So you have to click on the next. Based on the clicking of the next, you will try to get installed easily. Just by clicking next, you'll either automatically the installation will get completed. It is a simple process. You no need to worry. While if you are facing any issue while installing, please let me know in the tomorrow next class. So I will guide you accordingly. Next, so after clicking on this, if you try to open the Jupyter notebook, so where this Anaconda, suppose if you want to create after getting installation, you try to click on this Anaconda Navigator, which is an UI based, that is user interface based, where you can see all the different softwares, different thing, which is a bundle of softwares which you can find in this Anaconda. It is not only restricted to Python, even some other softwares also which you can be integrate here. Because of creating an application programming interface APIs, while you are creating an API, so this Anaconda will be useful. Say here in my system, there are so many softwares which are get installed. That is related to, this is a Python IDE. This is another kind of IDE where PyCharm IDE. So IDE is nothing but integrated development environment, where you are able to write your code in the specific software. That is called as IDE. So in this PyCharm, you can able to write the code. Even in the Jupyter Lab, you can able to write the code, the same Python code. Even in the Jupyter Notebook, you can able to write the code. In the VS Code, you can able to write the code. Spider, you can able to write the code. These are all related to Python softwares only, where you can able to write the code in these softwares. Coming to the industry side, going to industry side while implementing the projects, you won't write the code in the Jupyter Notebook or Jupyter Lab. So everyone will be preferring to write the code either in the PyCharm or either in the VS Code in industry. So I won't recommend that in the initial stages to make comfortable for you. And if you want to feel easily, I will recommend you that please use to do the coding in the Jupyter Notebook. So once you feel the more comfortable of coding, then you have to go to the PyCharm or VS Code for implementing the projects. So directly, if you go here, you won't feel that much comfortable. Already, if you know Python, that is okay. But who doesn't know the Python until now? So but I will recommend that to do everything in the Jupyter Notebook, initial stages. Later, once when you are feeling comfortable in the Python, so then you prefer to use PyCharm IDE or VS Code, where you are going to write the code in this PyCharm or VS Code or Jupyter Notebook. That is, these are all called as IDEs, Integrated Development Environments. So where different softwares also which are used here, some R language, R Studio. So some other things also will be there. This is Blue Witch, where you can able to see the relation of different data sets. This is IBM Watson Studio Cloud. Like that, so many which get a bundle of packages, bundle of libraries, bundle of softwares, everything you can see in a one platform together in this Anaconda Navigator. So environments, while you are creating a project, while you are creating some classwork, whatever it may be, you will be creating some environment and where you will be doing the projects. So all these you can find this here. So if you in this class, I'm going to start entire things in the Jupyter Notebook. In the Jupyter Notebook, if you want to do, simply click on the Jupyter Notebook launch. So why this is called as a GUI, where you are able to see that and you are going to direct click, it is able to open this Jupyter Notebook. That is fine. So while you are trying to open, this is fine, but it takes some time. Whether you observed or not, I don't know. So while you are clicking on the Anaconda Navigator and opening to the Jupyter Notebook, it is going to take some time. That is entirely, it is a GUI based. Instead of that, if you want to go through the command wise, so just you go to the Anaconda prompt. So when you install Anaconda in your system, automatically Anaconda Navigator, Anaconda prompt will be getting in your system. So whenever you got this, simply you open the Jupyter Notebook. Whenever you click on this Jupyter Notebook, automatically Jupyter Notebook is able to open. If you get open like this, and if you are able to see like this, that means it is working fine in your system, so that you can able to write the code. So either in these two ways, you can open the Jupyter Notebook. One is through Anaconda Navigator, one is through the Anaconda prompt. In the Anaconda prompt, to directly go to that and click on the Jupyter Notebook. Whenever you type the Jupyter Notebook and click enter, automatically it will open this page. To open this page, that is one way, through Anaconda prompt. Another way is already I show through Anaconda Navigator. This is Anaconda Navigator is a GUI based. While you are opening through GUI based, it takes some time. So if it is taking some time to open that, it doesn't mean you won't feel that much good. So directly, if you want to open it instantaneously within short span of time, prefer to use this Anaconda prompt. That is through command based. So where you are going to click directly type Jupyter Notebook, automatically it will open this Jupyter notebook. So once you open this Jupyter notebook, click on the new. So in that new, you will be able to see that notebook, Python 3, other text file, folder, and terminal. So in that you have to check, you have to click on the Python 3, where it is showing the 500 internal server error. Something it is showing like this. Sometimes it won't, you will be getting some like this 500 internal server. So if you are getting like this now, what you will do, simply you close all these things, again you try to open. Sometimes that issues also which will be getting for you 500 internal server like that. Because why we got here, we try to install, we try to open through Anaconda Navigator, as well as we also try to open through the Anaconda prompt same time. Sometimes you will be, even though if you are open like that also, it should have to work. Sometimes you'll be getting some like 500 internal server. So if you are getting in that way, just to try to open in one way, either through Anaconda prompt or Navigator. So if after that, once you open this Jupyter notebook, so we will see that. So click on the new Python. Again, it is showing us 500 internal server error. The same thing again, it is getting repeatedly. So you see, still if you are getting in this way, so what you have to do, simply go to some, already I have created one new, it is showing some error. 1 minute. This is another way. This is a Jupyter lab where you can open this in this way also, where you can able to write the code here also. This is Jupyter lab. This is different. And the another way, another IDE which I showed now is Jupyter notebook. Once what we can change now, we will change the path now. So instead of here, so I will change the path. Just I will open the Jupyter notebook. So if you want to change the path and if you want to open, just to press the CD command, CD and the path. So automatically it will open. So still it is showing the error. Somewhere issue it came now. Okay, anyway, so if you are getting in that error, no issues. So you can open here in the Jupyter lab. If it is not working, I will check later. So why it's not working. So in the similar way, Jupyter lab, Jupyter notebook, how you are opening. In the similar way, Jupyter lab also, it will be work like this only. This is for saving, this is for insert a cell. Here, this is a cell where you can able to write the multiple lines of the code here. That is your wish. If you want to write 1 line or 2 lines or 3 lines of the code, that is your wish. How many lines of the code you want to write in each cell, that's all depends on you. It is not mandatory that you have to write the single line or 2 lines. Entirely depends on your wish. And later, if you want to insert a cell, suppose if you want to insert any cell or if you want to insert a cell, so you can press as, suppose if you want to here insert a cell below, simply, so you can select it here, how many cells you need, directly that many cells it will be getting here. So if you want to cut down the cells, directly you can cut down, automatically it will delete all the cells. So after selecting this, After selecting, this is cut down. This is a copy. Copy the selected cells. If you want to copy this entire cell and if you want to paste anywhere, you can paste it wherever you want. Suppose here, if I am writing here 1 plus 2, if I want to execute, so either you can you here as run button or you can press a shift plus enter. Automatically, it will show some result. So either you can click on the run or either you can type shift plus enter. So whenever you run the shift plus enter, automatically it will able to show this result either in these two options. This is through this option or shift plus enter. Both are fine. So sometimes if some kernel gets interrupted, whenever the kernel gets interrupted, automatically sometimes totally it gets hang entire notebook. Whenever the entire notebooks gets hang, automatically you click on this interrupt the kernel and restart the kernel. Sometimes while you are trying to execute this 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 3, sometimes the notebook gets hanged. So anything it won't work. Whenever it doesn't get work, just to interrupt this kernel and again you restart this kernel. When you restart this kernel and try to execute all the cells, it will work fine. These all options you can find in your Jupyter notebook also. Suppose if you want to click on the markdown, suppose if you want to give the heading, suppose like this type. So where if you are mentioning here as code, just in the cell, it indicates that you have to give only the code here. But while you have selected here as markdown, so it will try to give that headings. Suppose this is a Python. So it will give that heading as Python. So you can select that whatever you need. Suppose you want to get the heading or you want to select as a code. You have to think while before writing or before executing. So whether this entire notebook, whether I have to give the heading or in each cell I want to note down something important points while executing the program. If you are thinking in that way, whatever the points, if you want to write it, simply you select the markdown and simply you keep here hash button. And if you press 2 hashes, automatically the size of this entire string will get reduced. Suppose here I have written as SQL. Suppose if I am writing the SQL, so if I am trying to execute, automatically the size of the letters will get reduced. If you are keeping double hash symbol and try to get executed as shift plus enter, it will show that the size of this get reduced. But if you are keeping only one single hash and if you are writing something here, Python 3 like this, and if you are trying to select this as markdown, automatically the size of this will be get increased. One single hash will get the size, it will get increased. One double hash, so like triple hash, if I'm choosing, here I'm choosing as numpy. If you are choosing as numpy, automatically the size is getting reduced. So this is all how you have to work while you are working in the Jupyter notebook. You have to choose or increase or decrease the size of the headings or the titles. Suppose if you want to write the entire thing about the Python. Suppose if you want to mention entire things about the Python, simply you keep 3 hash symbol and choose the markdown and you can write it as here. So Anaconda prompt. So you can write if you want to write some matter about this Python. So where you can write, you can able to execute this code in the Jupyter notebook or Jupyter lab. Like this, if you want to give the entire description about the Python, so before writing in the Jupyter notebook, so each and so some new concepts I am going to tell in the future. If you want to write in the some running notes, whatever I'm going to tell, simply you can mention everything in the Jupyter notebook itself by keeping the 3 hashes symbol, and you can mention everything like this, whatever I am telling. So you can note down all the points here. And if you press Shift plus Enter, entire notes get prepared in the Jupyter notebook itself. While you are executing, parallelly you can prepare the notes also in the Jupyter notebook itself. No need of having the separate notebook or everything. So that while you are, whenever you are going to see that particular notebook, can able to see the code as well as the code description. You can able to see in the same notebook. So no need of seeing separately that flexibility which is there in the Jupyter notebook. Suppose here while I am selecting here, I am facing an issue. That is internal server error we got in the Jupyter notebook. Whenever you are feeling such kind of issues, what you will do? Just to simply the Jupyter notebook online. Even in the online also it is available, Jupyter notebook. While whenever you are facing an issue while installing the Jupyter notebook, simply you click on this, you click on the anything that is Jupyter notebook. So whenever you are facing any issue while installing, no worries. Simply go to file, new, use it in online. If you are not able to install in your system, no need of worries. Go to Jupyter Notebook online. There itself you are finding everything, and you can execute here from here onwards. Even if it is not installed in your system also, it's no problem. So up to here, any issue, any doubts. So I'll for further continue. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. What about Vinay, Mesfin, Nani, Salman, Tanmay? I think everyone used previously the Jupyter notebook. Am I right? Hello? Hello, is it audible what I'm speaking?
Yes, it is audible, Ravi.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable or anything? Do you feel any uneasy regarding this Jupyter notebook?
No. Actually, I have Database Community Edition. Can I work
Okay.
on? Can I work in Database Community Edition without Jupyter and
Jupyter note, yes. You can IDE, whatever the IDE you want to choose, you can choose. This is a recommendable, I am telling. This is not
Okay.
mandatorily you have to use this.
Okay. Thank you.
So make sure that everyone get installed in your systems IDEs, because you have to do parallelly along with me from the next classes onwards. If you don't install, please install the Jupyter notebook. That is, to install the Jupyter notebook, you have to install the Anaconda. So after installing of Anaconda only, you can able to launch the Jupyter notebook and you can work in that.
Yeah, sure, Ravi. Thank you.
So another first one is install the Jupyter notebook. Second one is please you create the GitHub account. Without GitHub account, it won't be recommendable. So whatever the codes, everything you have to keep it in the GitHub. I think most of the, if you are working in industry, you know how much importance of GitHub. So this is recommendable. Who don't have the GitHub account also, please open the GitHub account, create your own GitHub account. Even if you are facing while creating GitHub account, please let me know. I will help you for creating. So this should be happen everything by this weekend. From Monday, we'll start freshly, whatever the concepts we'll learn everything in detail. So before going to start the Python, first of all, you should have to get install everything. Then only it will be easy for you and for me too. So whatever I am telling, you can catch me in easiest way. So unless if you don't do practical, simply listening the class, it won't give benefit for you. No use of attending classes. So I would be recommendable, please get installed in your system. If you are not facing any issue, I will help you. So you can contact me in the weekends also. There is no issue while you are facing any issue while trying an installation. So this Jupyter notebook where you are going to open, this is an user interface. This is a web page. So whatever the code, suppose you are writing as 1+2. Here you are mentioning as 1+2. Whenever you are trying to execute through Shift plus Enter, automatically some result you are getting. So how you are getting? Through Python compiler. Whatever the code you are writing here, it will be sending to Python compiler. Python compiler will get executed that again it will send back to you. That result you are going to see this. This Jupyter notebook, which is on web page, where it is just only the web page. But exactly the Python compiler will be at the back end where you are going to send this code to the Python compiler. Python compiler will execute that code. It will understand what you have written this, what you are sending here from in the cell, what you have written. So the Python compiler will understand what you have written. So it will understand that and it will execute that and it will send back to the result for you. This is what you are going to see these three. So this is what how it is happened. So in the next class, I will start in detail about all this Python. Before that, try to create the GitHub account also. So shall we wind up the session for today?
Yeah, okay, Ravi.
Okay.
What about others?
Yes, sir. We will be
Please.
ready with the installation.
Yeah, if you don't, no issue. If you are not facing any issue, I'll help. So you can contact me in the weekend or the starting of the day on Monday. I can discuss. So before that, before starting, it should get installed. That is my main aim. So I will tell everything in detail from Monday onwards. We'll discuss. We'll do parallelly. Okay, then thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.